guys, it's Monique with Oak Knob Makes, and I am back today to talk with you guys about something we've got coming up. I'm very excited. We are going to do our first crochet along here on the channel, and we are going to do the Ana Lucia shawl. You guys can see. It's a beautiful shawl. It is actually being modeled here by my lovely assistant, Twinette. Those of you who have not had a chance to watch the lives, we have a new addition to the channel. Her name is Twinette. She's been named after my great-great-grandmother, and she is wearing one of the Ana Lucia shawls that I had made. I've made this one, which was made in wall trim yarn, and then I also made one in Red Heart Unforgettable for a girlfriend of mine. So this is probably like fingering weight, lace weight to fingering weight, and then I did it in a 4-weight. So it's pretty flexible, you know, much like most shawls. As long as you end it on a row that isn't odd looking, and you can kind of make it however big you want it to be. So what are the details? Where do you get the shawl? What's going on? Well, first of all, the reason that I'm doing this particular pattern is because I had done a video about my thoughts on the pattern and kind of like a review. And I've had a lot of folks message me or comment on the video kind of saying that they would love to make one. They would love to kind of do a crochet along. And some people that were like, yeah, I'd do it, but it looks way more complicated than I normally do. So I contacted the designer to confirm that she was okay that we do one, and she is. The other question that I had been asked frequently was, would I do a tutorial, like a film tutorial on it? And I asked her if she would mind if I did that as part of the crochet along. And she would prefer that I not, because she has a video tutorial. And she had asked why, considering she had one, and I told her that I think it's just because different people learn different ways, and I've had some folks that even after watching her tutorial still were kind of confused. And she just was very nice and just again said that she would just rather not there be any filmed video tutorial other than hers out there on this. So I can't do that as part of it. I have to respect her wishes, but I can help you verbally. You know, I can try to help you. We could always, if somebody's really stuck, we could maybe try and do a Zoom so that I can help you, kind of a deal. And what I'm going to do is I have changed my Facebook link below from my main page, like my personal page, to a group that I've created for the channel. So I've created a group, Oak Knob Makes with Monique, and it is on Facebook, and that is where primarily I'm going to be running the crochet along. So we'll have, you know, posts about it. If people have questions, they can post in there. People can share pictures. We can talk about progress or issues or confusion, all of that. That's going to be the perfect place for that. For those that don't have Facebook, I will post about it on my Instagram as well, so that you can share photos there if you are in Instagram but not Facebook. And if you don't have either, you can absolutely just correspond with me by email about anything, including this. My email is in the description box below always. So I feel like between those three things, we'll have pretty good ability to do this as a group together. But you will have to join the Facebook group. So sorry if you haven't wanted to join, but that's kind of where it's going to be, especially where I can't do a video tutorial. I will try and check in on video and just kind of remind people that it's happening, give you guys encouragement, let you know where I am. If there's anything that was confusing to me, I might talk about that. But again, that Facebook group is going to be the place I think where we can best communicate to help each other. It's also a private group, So it's all of the groups that I create are private because I want people to feel safe in posting whatever they want without friends or family or whatever necessarily seeing what they're into or what they're doing. Not that we're doing anything wrong, but also, you know, my friends whom I love dearly really do not care to see the posts that I post in about crochet on their feed. You know what I mean? And they will see that, just like I see posts about things that they're interested in, because their groups aren't private. So it is a private group. You can find it, but nobody can see what you're posting in there, except unless you're in a group. I think that was the number one thing I wanted to talk about. Like, not like the top, but the number one in line. Number two, where do you get the pattern? Well, this is the paid pattern, okay? You can go to her website. It is willmade.com. I will link it below. And she has both a free version of this and a paid version. If you have not made this, honestly, especially if you are unsure about maybe a slightly more adventurous pattern than like a 1 or 2 row repeat, I would highly suggest you invest the small amount of money in the paid, because look at, like, I have to hold it back because I paid for this. This is, you know, so this is her work. I can't give it away. But she's got good pictures here to kind of explain. There's more at the here with, she's got counts here for you for every single row after, you know, the main, because it's a certain row repeat, but eventually, you know, you're just repeating, so she doesn't write it. But then she goes through how to do all of those stitches that she thinks somebody might have an issue with. So there's a lot of good pictures in here. It also has the link to the video tutorial. You know, she lists it in the pattern. But if you're fairly confident, I mean, the stitches are not hard, guys. They're really not. We're talking about, you need to know how to be able to do a chain, a single crochet, a double crochet, a front post double crochet, back post double crochet, and back post single crochet. That's it. So if you are familiar with those posts and you think you can do it with just the free one, go ahead, you know. I really like Wilma's patterns, and I think that she's such a nice lady, and I appreciate that she was cool with us doing this crochet along with her pattern. That was number 2. Number 3, when December 1st to February 14th, we're going to run it for 2.5 months. And the reason we're going to run it for 2.5 months is like threefold. 1, December is a crazy shit show for most people, and you're not finishing a shawl in a month in December unless you are a superhuman. And if you are, good for you. I'm not, and so I'm running it as if I was the person doing the crochet along. 2, I'm a slow crocheter, and whether it's December or June, I'm not finishing a shawl like this in a month. It's not going to happen. And I know that there are a lot of folks like me that just can't crochet that fast or don't have the time. So I wanted to try to extend it without it being ridiculous. And number 3, I wanted this to be at a pace that felt relaxed enough that people that would be stepping outside of their comfort zone or trying something a little more difficult than they might have on their own will feel like they actually have time to accomplish it. I've done a bunch of crochet alongs at this point, and I have never made the deadline. And so I have stopped doing them because it's no fun when you see 75 pictures of other people's finished product in a month and you're a quarter of the way through and then it's over. And then you're like, you've got this thing, it's like, well, do I finish it or do I just frog it and do something that isn't so hard? Or, you know, because most of the time if I'm doing a crochet along, it's on something that is more difficult than I want to take on my own. Does that make sense? So I'm really kind of shooting, and I hope that folks that haven't or would maybe look at this particular pattern and feel intimidated by it will give it a shot, and we can all do it together. So I did this one in Waltron, which, like I said, is a fingering weight. It's a 4-ply fingering weight. And I also did one in a 4-weight for my girlfriend in Red Heart Unforgettable Yarn. So I feel like this is really, you can make this in whatever yarn you want, whatever you're most comfortable with. The pattern calls for about 830 yards of DK weight yarn. That's what her pattern calls for. I don't do gauge, and I don't ever really pay attention to the yardage because I'm going to make it the size I want it to be anyways, and I highly suggest you do too. You want a shorter, like, kerchief one? Do that. You want it to be massive so that you can envelop yourself in it on the sofa, like when we're in February and quarantined and we're Netflixing like it's our, you know, purpose on earth. Do that. Whatever floats your boat. That's the thing about these that are so great. That's one of the things I love about shawls and wraps. So the yarn that I'm going to use this time is going to be this twister. I'm being washed out. It is so washed out. So it's this twister, for goodness sakes. And this is the colorway. Hello, washout. The center is just pink into, you know, it's really pretty. It is actually colorway number 31, color 31 in a twister cake, if you're curious about which it is. So I am going to be using this. This is 1,093 yards. Maybe I'll use the whole thing. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I don't even know what weight this is. This is a 2 weight. It's fine weight, fingering weight. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the description box below. I will link Wilma's website. I will link her tutorial. I will link my Facebook group. And of course, my email is always down there. So if you have questions, concerns, mention them below. Did I already say whether or not we'll have prizes? Let's do prizes too. We'll have a prize or two at the end for folks. I don't know what it will be or how many exactly, but maybe. Anyways, guys, that's it. If you have questions, concerns, comments, whatever, mention them below. Send me an email. Join the Facebook group. I haven't posted anything in the Facebook group about it yet, but I will be, just so that people know. Guys, have a wonderful day. I hope you are having a lovely weekend, and I will talk with you guys soon. Bye.